G'day guys, my name's Shane. This is just a quick tutorial on PHP math. Shouldn't take up much of your time. I just want to quickly go over how order of operations can be incorporated in PHP, and yeah, very short tutorial. Should be pretty straightforward, but it's worth me mentioning because we're going to be using quite a bit of it in later, more advanced tutorials. So let's get started. So I've already created my index.php file. I'm just going to do some basic echoes to the page. So in this case, I'm just going to echo a simple +1 + 1, which is going to give us 2. Really straightforward. If we mix it up a little bit, 1 + 1 multiplied by 3. Now it's actually going to incorporate order of operations here. So what's going to happen is 1's going to multiply by 3 first, then it's going to add that to our original 1. So you're going to get a value of 4, not 2 times 3, which is 6. So that's, you know, anyone who's done maths before, that's pretty straightforward. This is more just a demonstration to show you that what you know can be applied in PHP, and it will pay attention. If we throw brackets in there, it will obviously give preference to this part of the equation. So your 1 + 1 is going to equate first, then multiply by 3. So now we'll get 6. Very straightforward stuff. This isn't rocket science. PHP also supports modulus. So 3 now for your mod, that is a percentage sign. 2 is one we're going to use. Now, if you don't know what modulus is, essentially it's division remainder. It's probably the simplest way to put it. Quite useful when doing things like alternating colors, perhaps on certain elements in tables, things like that. Using modulus is very handy. It can actually reduce your code by quite a lot. There've been a lot of when tutoring at university, for example, there've been a lot of problems that I've been able to solve for students by using modulus, and they didn't even realize it was a thing. And I've been able to cut down many redundant lines of code just using modulus. So it's worth understanding, and always keep it in the back of your mind because it can save you a lot of work sometimes. So in this case, 3 modulus 2 is actually going to give us a division remainder of 1. If I were to make that 4 modulus 2, we're going to get a 0, because obviously there's no remainder. Very useful sometimes. It's also extremely handy for checking whether a certain number is divisible by another number. Maybe you want to perform a particular action every 15 loops, for example. So as opposed to, you know, setting a counter that goes, you know, that increases by 1 every single time, and then you wait until it reaches a certain value, then reset it back to 0 again, and then make it go +1 +1 +1 every time you're executing a certain statement. Instead, every single time you'll just do, you know, my variable modulus 15. And if that equals 0, great. Well, then you know that that's your 15th execution. Fantastic. It saves. So that's just an example, but it can save you a little bit of work. Of course, you've also got access to division as well, just like that. So there we go. So obviously, 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. Now, with these echo statements, we can use dot operators again to actually have, we can do separate calculations if you like. So over there I can have my 5 divided by 2, and I'm going to put a space in between them. It will let me interchange numbers and strings with those dot operators, so that's really useful. And over here I'm going to have a 2 multiplied by 3, just like that. So then I've got my 6 there. Okay, so that's handy. You know, sometimes we don't want to just split it up, you know, and have a million echo statements like I showed as an example in the first tutorial. Instead, you know, we might rather just have a single echo statement and concatenate all these values together. It's just a lot easier and just makes our code that little bit neater in some cases. Yeah, so anyway, that concludes the basic math tutorial. We're going to be doing a lot of what you saw there in a lot more detail, and it's going to get a little bit trickier, but I just wanted to give you guys an overview so that I don't have to explain it bit by bit throughout random tutorials at a later date. Thank you for your time.